This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's number one show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sob like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is 12:19. I'm on for about 40 minutes, folks. So we could talk about the Knicks versus the Phoenix Suns. It's an early game at 3:30. You know, nice for them to schedule it in the middle of the Giants and the Jets game. You know what I mean? But I guess we'll all find a way to get it done. The Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, are trying to rebound from a terrible loss. A terrible loss to the Golden State Warriors. When it looked like they took steps offensively and defensively versus the Utah Jazz and the Denver Nuggets, against the Warriors, ladies and gentlemen, they took some steps backwards. Defense was horrendous. They couldn't buy a shot. Now, I read a tweet from Alan Hahn, and he said, for the most part, everybody on the team is sick. That was versus the Denver Nuggets. Well, you know, it could be the case again today. You know, if everybody was sick then. I think there was a picture of Julius Randle, or a video of Julius Randle getting up and going to get some tea so he can try to help himself to feel a little bit better. I'm not sure I can use that as an excuse for the reason why the Knicks got beat the way that they got beat, because I felt like they played with some energy. You know, and you know, it wasn't like they were lackluster. They were slow to some loose balls. They did get beat on the boards, and maybe that does point to some of the lack of energy due to being sick. But, you know, they were sick in Utah. They were sick in Denver. And I'm not saying that they're supposed to beat Golden State, although Golden State did come into the game 6-9. They're still Golden State. You know, basically, you know, they were playing very, very well at home and not playing so well on the road, getting through. So if things are choppy, I apologize. It should be back soon, nice and clear for you. But ladies and gentlemen, we have some injuries out here today for the New York Knicks, obviously. Mitchell Robinson is questionable for today's game. Remember, today's game is at 3:30. Mitchell Robinson is questionable. Cam Reddish is questionable with a sore groin. And man, you know, hopefully Cam is able to get back soon. You know, every time this guy gets going, something happens. Every single time he gets going, an injury jumps up. So Cam Reddish and Mitchell Robinson questionable. Chris Paul is out for the Phoenix Suns. Landry Shamet is out for the Phoenix Suns. And Cam Johnson is out for the Phoenix Suns. So they're not playing at full strength. Doesn't mean they're not a good team. And, you know, I was listening to the telecast the other day on ESPN. And Richard Jefferson is like, oh, you know, the New York Knicks record is a little bit deceiving, you know, because they played some guys. You know, Joel Embiid wasn't there for the Philadelphia 76ers. Jokic wasn't there for the Denver Nuggets. And he's correct. But you play who's in front of you. That's not something you can control. So you win the games that's there. That's all I got to say about that. That's all, you know, whatever. You win the games that's there. People would be more upset if they lost those games, right? Without those players. So you win the games that's in front of you. So The big question is who starts today? Paying attention to the Knicks Twitter page to see if they post anything about the starters. But that's the big question, right? Who starts for the New York Knicks today in that shooting guard spot? Will it be Emmanuel Quickley? Will it be Quentin Grimes? Will it be Evan Fournier? Could it be Derrick Rose? I think it's between IQ, Quentin Grimes, and Evan Fournier. I think it's between those three players. It's hard to figure out what Tom Thibodeau might do in this situation. I tend to think it's going to be IQ. He's been playing good basketball. I think that, he might be able to play. He plays well off the ball. So if he's playing off Jalen Brunson, I think it'll be. I think it could be good for IQ, right? Quentin Grimes, he hasn't been playing. You know what I mean? He hasn't played basically since the season started. He's been dealing with injury himself, foot soreness, right? So I just don't see that you elevate him into the starting lineup. Tom Thibodeau tried that. And I'm not saying anything is Quentin Grimes' fault, but obviously he couldn't stay on the court because his foot was sore. Hopefully he's, over that 100%. But I don't see that you elevate him straight up into the starting lineup. And, I don't see that. But maybe so. It could happen. Maybe it's Tom Thibodeau feels like he's 100% ready to go and he needs his defense in that starting lineup against a guy like Devin Booker. And then you have Evan Fournier. You could start Evan Fournier. You start Evan Fournier, you're definitely going to, you're not going to get it on the defensive side of the ball. So it's a question as to who Tom Thibodeau is going to start. Right? Devin Booker, I think, is 6'5". Right? So you definitely want to have somebody who can at least try to match up a little bit size-wise, which is one of the reasons why you can see why Tom Thibodeau might go with Quentin Grimes. Because Quentin Grimes can match up size-wise, right? He's 6'5", Devin Booker 6'5", 206. Right? Quentin Grimes is 6'5" himself. I don't know if he's 206, but he's about the same size. And Quentin Grimes, ladies and gentlemen, is 6'5", 210. So he's a little bit bigger than Devin Booker. If Quentin Grimes is ready to go, that's probably the way to go because Emmanuel Quickley's smaller. He's 6'2", 190. So if Quentin Grimes can go, that should be the way to go. Matches up size-wise. He's obviously a defender. So I guess that's something we'll have to, we'll see what Tom Thibodeau does. So I think I'm changing now, ladies and gentlemen. Quentin Grimes, if he's 100% healthy, go ahead and start him. Let IQ continue to come off the bench and let Evan Fournier be situational. And see if Quentin Grimes can produce. I seen someone in the chat say, now watch Cam be ready to start at game time. I don't know. A groin injury can be tricky. Let it rest, because if you don't let him rest, he's questionable. Right? If you don't let him rest, you're taking a chance that that injury could last for the entire season. Or maybe not for the entire season, but for a while. You got to let him rest, I think. Let it heal itself up. and then get him back out there. The thing is, obviously, Cam, if they ask Cam is going to want to play because he wants that spot. And if there's a chance that Quentin Grimes starts, now Quentin Grimes is getting a chance to claim that spot back. So, if you ask Cam, he's going to want to start. There's no doubts about that. But I'm changing my thought, ladies and gentlemen. I want to go with Quentin Grimes now. If he's healthy, 100% healthy, go with Quentin Grimes. He's a basketball player. He should be able to step in. Because that size, you know what I mean? Devin Booker is a big mid-range guy. He likes to play in that post area, mid-post, mid-range area, and he'll shoot right over top of IQ. That'll be a problem. IQ, listen, he'll try as hard as he can. No one out there is going to be a match for Devin Booker, because Devin Booker is, such a strong player offensively. He can do it all. He can go to the basket, shoot the mid-range, knock down the three. He can break it down off the dribble. You know what I mean? He's got the entire package there. Quentin Grimes is probably your best bet to defend him. So, I'd look at Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and probably Isaiah Hartenstein. And if Jericho Sims does start, I wouldn't argue about it. Wouldn't be mad about it. I could see it happening and would understand why he started. Or can double-double, to be honest with you. He's going to grab a couple of offensive rebounds and put those back. You can find him in transition. You can throw some oops to him. And he's going to grab rebounds. Big body down there. With him and Julius Randle out there, both of them are big and active. And I'm not saying that Isaiah Hartenstein isn't active, because he is. He's got a big body as well. But Jericho Sims is more active. Bangs his body around a little bit more. You know what I mean? I just seen a couple of times against the Golden State Warriors when it was like, man, these two dudes, Jericho Sims and Julius Randle, down there on the boards, that's tough. It's tough to deal with those guys down there. They're big and strong. When they're out there getting minutes together, and both of them are crashing the glass, that's some big bodies. They got to make sure they're not knocking each other over. Tay234 said, why doesn't he start Randall and Obi? Hasn't it proven it can work? It's proven that it can work. And maybe he will at some point. I think he still likes to have a shot blocker out there, as much as he can. And maybe he wants to have a shot blocker out there to start the game. I don't know. And maybe it's something that he'll go to at some point. Now, Mitchell Robinson continues to be upgraded. Right? He went from doubtful to now questionable. So soon, he's going to be ready to go. He'll go from questionable to day or something like that. So soon, Mitchell Robinson will be ready to go. And I don't think you have to, that won't even be a question. But that lineup will always be something that's, in the tool belt. Right? Always in the tool belt. For the Phoenix Suns, Cameron Payne is starting because Chris Paul is out. It's been out for a little bit. Devin Booker, obviously, is starting that shooting guard. Mikal Bridges, Torrey Craig, and DeAndre Ayton is starting at that center position. And that position right there, obviously that shooting guard spot. I mean, Jalen Brunson, I feel like, listen, I think he should be able to post Cameron Payne up. Cameron Payne is like 6'1", right? I think Jalen Brunson should be able to, I don't want to say dominate, like straight up dominate the matchup, right? But he should be able to, as long as he's hitting his shot, he was off against the Denver Nuggets. As long as he is hitting his shot, I feel like Jalen Brunson should win this matchup. You could put Jalen Brunson in the post, let him post up Cameron Payne a little bit. Cameron Payne is 6'1", 183. Let him post up Cameron Payne. Double team comes, kick it out of the double team. Right? Because Jalen Brunson has shown that he can post up smaller and bigger guards. As a matter of fact. That's a strategy I would use tonight. Not every single time down the floor. Right? But on, every few possessions, I'm posting up Jalen Brunson. Okay. Obviously, Devin Booker is going to do, he's averaging 28.1 points per game, 6.1 assists. Right? He's shooting 48% from the field. He's shooting 36.2% from the three-point line. So if you do have Quentin Grimes on him, Grimes got to be ready to, he's got to be ready to defend. He's got to be ready to go. You're not going to shut down Devin Booker. There's no doubt about it. Just make it tough for him. You're not shutting him down. Mikal Bridges, another guy to look out for. He's averaging 16 points per game. Obviously, he can knock down the three. R.J. Barrett, that's going to be his assignment tonight. All right, so R.J. Barrett, listen, he's someone who he'll go back door on you. Right? He'll slash to the basket. RJ's got to be on his P's and Q's. He's shooting 54.5% from the field and 44.7% from the three-point line. RJ can't slack on this dude, man. Because if he does, listen, he can go for 30. He has. He has this season. If RJ is slacking, this guy, and he's not going to do it by breaking you down. That's not the way he plays basketball. Right? He's going to do it by slashing to the basket, knocking down threes off of kickouts. Everyone in transition. Right? He knows how to run the lanes, and obviously he's a good defender, so he's going to make it tough on RJ as well. All right, so, and RJ, one hasn't been feeling well. We know that, but he hasn't been playing well throughout the season. RJ he's not shooting the ball well at all. But Mikal Bridges, we just read off what he's shooting for the season. But on the other hand, RJ, ladies and gentlemen, he's averaging almost 18 points per game. He's also leading the team in shot attempts at 16 per game, 16.4 shot attempts per game, but he's only shooting 39.5% from the field, and he's only shooting 25% from three. If you're going to be taking the most shot attempts, at some point, you got to start to shoot better percentages. You have to. If not, then your shot attempts need to go down. And he's going to have his hands full with Mikal Bridges today. And RJ hasn't, I'm sorry for all the RJ fans out there. I'm just being truthful. And what I see, he has not been the best defender this year. His defense has not been good. At all, in my opinion. He's been, it just hasn't. Then you got Julius Randle and Torrey Craig. Julius Randle's averaging like 21 a game. He's doing it on decent efficiency so far. People don't like all of his effort defensively, and it's been in and out. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Where I'm concerned about tonight is Torrey Craig is knocking down the three at 42.6%. He's taking 3 attempts per game, 42.6%. He's knocking down that three ball. And Julius Randle does not do a good job getting out, covering the three. His closeouts are not always tight and sharp. You know what I'm saying? He's got to do a better job closing out on the three-point shooters, and Torrey Craig will go off on you if you let him. If you're not getting out to that shot. The Phoenix Suns overall shoot the ball well from the three-point line. And so if you're not, you don't want a guy like Torrey Craig who's coming in, he's averaging 7.2 points per game. But if you let him get loose from that three-point line, he'll give you 10, 12, 14. So, he's had, his last 3 games, he had 10 points versus the Miami Heat. He had 13 points versus the Golden State Warriors, 16 points versus the Utah Jazz. And in that time span, he was 1 for 3 from the three-point line, then 3 for 6, then 3 for 5. So Julius Randle's got to be on his game and watch this and not sag too deep into the paint. I know DeAndre Ayton is in there, right? And he can give you fits because he can post up. I'm not double teaming right away on DeAndre Ayton unless he's just killing you inside. If he's killing you inside, then maybe you have to. But I'm not going to just jump into the double team. Let iHeart or Sims, whoever's starting, I think it's going to be iHeart, but let them guys defend him. See what they can do. Don't let these three-point shooters get loose on you. And then you got Isaiah Hartenstein. I'm sorry, DeAndre Ayton. Right? And DeAndre Ayton is giving you 15 points a game. And he's a load to handle on the box. Right? 15 points a game, 15 points, 7.8 rebounds for DeAndre Ayton. He's not really going to take you outside too much. All right, he does shoot the three ball at 33%, but he's taking less than 1 attempt per game. He's an inside guy. He's going to play inside that mid-post area, et cetera, et cetera. Right? I know some people say Jericho Sims, but I'm still going with iHeart here. I think he just has more experience playing defense against guys like this. At least right now. If it's not working, go with Jericho Sims. But again, if Jericho Sims does start, I get it. I mean, I get it. And I wouldn't have a problem with it at all. But I think, I do think that iHeart will continue to start the game for the Knicks. And you'll bring in Jericho Sims when it's necessary. All right. Now, people might look at, I know, the thought process is, look at the way that Mitchell Robinson has been able to use his length to bother DeAndre Ayton. And he has, that's without a doubt. I just don't think neither one of these guys, are Hartenstein or Jericho Sims, has that kind of length, right, to bother DeAndre Ayton. And I think this is probably, though, right now, without Chris Paul out there, this is one of the more important matchups of the day. DeAndre Ayton. Because you don't want him to, drop 20, 25 points on you. Keep him to his average or less. And he's been, the past few games, he's basically been at his average, 14, 16, 14, 17. And throughout that time, this is 1, 2, 3, over the last 5 games, he's only taken three three-point attempts. Now, he can also drop some assists on you. So watch the way that they're playing it and the way that he maybe passes the ball off that post. So you do need to have a hand in his face, playing some tight defense, you know what I mean? Not allowing him to just see the floor so that he can create for others, right? Because they'll throw it to DeAndre Ayton and let guys cut around him. He had 8 assists versus the Utah Jazz. So, he is a versatile big guy that can find you in different ways. Obviously, that was a high-scoring game. It was, the Phoenix Suns lost to the Jazz 134-133. But every once in a while, they'll throw it to DeAndre Ayton, and he can find the right person to pass to, right? He's averaging about 2 to 3 assists per game. So just watch out for that. Especially a guy like Mikal Bridges, where you got DeAndre Ayton catching the ball at maybe the high post and Mikal Bridges going back door. We got to watch out for that. The Knicks do. For the most part, Cameron Payne is going to be the guy, breaking down the defense and creating for others. Obviously, Chris Paul isn't there. Normally, that's Chris Paul's job. Then Devin Booker can help create for others as well. But every once in a while, DeAndre Ayton can make a play or two from the post position, high post, low post position for others. Right? So that's something else to watch out for that the Knicks should be aware of when it comes to today's matchup. Looking at the team comparison, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks are averaging 113.5 points per game. All right, the Phoenix Suns, 115 points per game. Listen, the Knicks they're figuring out what's best for them offensively and how to operate offensively, and also couple it with good defense. So there is they're trying to play a faster pace, and they've been over the course of the season in the top 10 in pace, right? So, they're working on playing a little bit of a faster pace. And so it's been a transition for them, right? Because the Knicks with Tom Thibodeau haven't really played with great pace. So now they got to figure out, how do we play with pace as well as continue to play defense? That's why Tom Thibodeau wants these players to be in shape. But the Knicks are averaging 113.5 points per game. All right, far cry from what has been in the past couple of years. The Phoenix Suns 115, and they're used to playing with pace. They understand how they play basketball. The Knicks are also grabbing 46.5 rebounds. The Phoenix Suns 41.5. The Knicks assist numbers continue to drop, ladies and gentlemen. They started off the season at like 27 assists per game. Slowly but surely, it's dropped. So now they're at 23.9, just about 24 assists per game. The Phoenix Suns, even without Chris Paul there, are going to give you assists. They're at 27.5, and it's all about the style of play for the Phoenix Suns. All about the style of play. 7.5 steals for the Knicks, 7.8 for the Phoenix Suns. 4.9 blocks for the Knicks, 5.6 for the Suns. And you would assume that when Mitchell Robinson gets back for the Knicks, those assist numbers go up, right? Those assist numbers go up. 13.7, I'm sorry, the block numbers go up, not the assist numbers. 13.7 turnovers for the Knicks, 12.7 for the Phoenix Suns. The Knicks are shooting the ball 44.8% from the field, 47.5% for the Phoenix Suns. And the Suns are not shooting 337.5% from the three-point line. They're shooting 37.5% from the three-point line. All right, so they're shooting it well, not that well, though. They were shooting it that well, it averaged 500 points a game or something crazy. All right, the Knicks, 79.8% from the free throw line. The Phoenix Suns, 83.3% from the free throw line. And this is another team like we can see can knock down the three ball, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. The Phoenix Suns right now attempt about 37 threes per game. I'm sorry. They attempt about 33 threes per game. So it's not like they're attempting a crazy amount of threes. All right, but they knock them down when they get them. Their offensive rating is 116.4. That's third in the league. All right, their defensive rating is eighth in the league at 110.4. All right, and they're not a team that's very high on pace. They're 26th in the league in pace. All right, so they play a little bit slower, but their offense is still good. All right, for the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, offensive rating for the Knicks right now is at 19 in the league at 110.7. Their defensive rating, continues to be towards the bottom of the league. It is sliding up the charts right now because they've been playing better. It's 22 right now. They're 22nd in the league. Their defensive rating is 112.6. And as for pace for the New York Knicks, is 101.09, and that is still top 10 in the league. That's number 9. Okay. So that's what we're looking at right now for the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, and the Phoenix Suns. I think the Knicks can match up well against this team, and this should be a good basketball game, my opinion. It's not going to be easy by any means for the Knicks to just go in there, go into Phoenix and walk away with a win. It's going to be a battle. My main matchups for the night, R.J. Barrett and Devin Booker, right? We need R.J. Barrett to play a very good game today, in my opinion, right? Make sure that Devin Booker is working as well. Don't just let Devin Booker have a field day while RJ's not shooting well. Yeah, RJ's going to take his attempts, but we need RJ to be shooting the ball well. That's going to make that's gonna get Devin Booker's attention a little bit and make him have to play some tighter defense. If RJ isn't shooting well, now you're taking that chance that Devin Booker can really, really have a good game because he doesn't have to focus as much on the defensive side. He can say, hey, I'm going to let this guy shoot. He ain't knocking it down anyway. Need RJ to get, we need RJ to really do something today. He doesn't have to drop 28, 29, right? He doesn't have to do that. All he needs to do is be efficient. Score what he's going to score, but be efficient. I think Jalen Brunson, hopefully he can exploit his matchup a little bit. Like I said, operate in the post. And I fixed, ladies and gentlemen, the screen so it doesn't look like the Phoenix Suns are shooting from another planet. Okay? But we need Jalen Brunson, operate a little bit from that post, get back on track. He did not shoot well versus the Denver Nuggets, so, we'll see if he can get back on track. And he's been efficient throughout the season. Hopefully he can get back to that efficiency today. And then Julius Randle, I agree with whoever it was who said it, that Julius Randle needs to have a good night. I agree. We need Julius Randle to dominate that matchup with Torrey Craig. Right? Now, who will they have defending Julius Randle? I don't know. Right? I don't know. But we need Julius Randle to dominate his matchup and make sure he's defending Torrey Craig, not letting Torrey Craig get loose from that three-point line. Just about every night, those are the 3 big matchups, right? 3 big matchups. But who do we need to really get off? Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, in my opinion. Those 2 matchups I think the Knicks can get off with. And I made a mistake. R.J. Barrett's not going to be defending Devin Booker. I don't know why I said that. R.J. Barrett's probably going to be defending Mikal Bridges. So it's not going to be R.J. and Devin Booker. We don't want Mikal Bridges to get off So RJ's got to be on his game defending Mikal Bridges, and then Mikal Bridges, he's a good defender. He's going to be defending RJ. It could make it for a tough night for RJ Barrett, in my opinion, because he's a good defender. Quentin Grimes is the one that's got to defend Devin Booker if he's going to be starting. And if he is starting, Quentin Grimes we're talking about, listen, you're not going to expect Quentin Grimes to go at Devin Booker to make him work. Right? Especially, he hasn't been playing and he's now inserted into the starting lineup. You're not going to expect that to happen. Right? But when he does get open, he's got to knock it down. Now, if Emmanuel Quickly starts, and this is where I meant to talk about RJ and Devin Booker. If Emmanuel Quickly starts the game, then I guess I would go. Mikal Bridges is not really a post-up guy. He can shoot over you, right? I don't know. If Emmanuel Quickly starts, maybe you go with Quickly on Mikal Bridges and let RJ defend Devin Booker a little bit. Not a little bit, but, let RJ defend Devin Booker. See if you could put a little bit more size on Booker. And I don't know if I would do that. That's what Tom Thibodeau has done. You know what I mean? I didn't agree with Cam Reddish defending Steph Curry the other night, right? I thought that you should have went with your traditional matchups. I felt that it allowed, in the first half, Klay Thompson to see a little bit more light at the rim. I felt like he should have went with traditional matchups. It allowed, not allowed, but Steph Curry now said, okay, I got a longer guy on me. I'm going to get the ball around. Let more people get involved. For me, that's what I feel like were the results of having Cam on Steph Curry. I would have just went traditional. Steph Curry was going to get his no matter what. He might not have scored 30, he scored 24, but he helped generate 40-something points because he had 10 assists, right? So he helped to generate 44 points still. Either way, Steph Curry's going to help to generate points. I'd rather have Steph Curry doing all the shooting and let other guys, standing around watching, which, it's not normally like that, but, let Steph Curry take more shots. They're going to move the ball anyway. But don't let them, the whole team move the ball and Steph Curry's moving the ball. Anyway, that was last game. Right? Tonight, I don't know. Would I go with RJ Barrett on Devin Booker if Emmanuel Quickly starts? I don't know. But if he does, because I could see Tom Thibodeau doing something like that. If he does, then I think, RJ Barrett's got to put a little bit of pressure on Devin Booker too by being efficient, if that ends up being a matchup out there on the floor. Right? Atlian, you said RJ on Booker's too slow. I agree. That's why I wouldn't do it. That's why I wouldn't do it. If Emmanuel Quickly is starting, I wouldn't do that. Right? I would still, I guess, go with Emmanuel Quickly on Devin Booker, even though Emmanuel Quickly would be smaller, which is the reason why Quentin Grimes is probably going to start. Or let's say I would start Quentin Grimes. I don't want to say probably because I don't know what's going through Tom Thibodeau's head. That's the reason why I would start Quentin Grimes. I switched it. First, I was thinking IQ. Once I talked myself through it, say, yeah, Quentin Grimes is probably the better person. Because of the size, and his defense. He can match up with Devin Booker a little bit better. Not that he's going to shut him down, but he can match up a little bit better. But ladies and gentlemen, it is 12:58. I know you're ready to watch the Giants and the Jets. So I'm going to let you get to the Giants and the Jets. I will be on after the Knicks take on the Phoenix Suns. Right, so we're talking about 6:15, somewhere around there, something like that. All right, about 6:15, 6:15, I'll be on for the post-game show. And then later on tonight, I'm going to do a Westchester Knicks show. I'm finally going to get around to doing it. I'll do that later on tonight. All right, after I had a chance to settle down from the Knicks and so on and so forth. All right, so be on the lookout for that. We're just going to take a look at the Westchester Knicks and what they're doing, some players to look out for, and some possibilities of guys that could, come up to the big boy team, come up to varsity. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm heading out. Go enjoy the Giants and Jets and the Knicks and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys later on, like I said, about 6:15 or so. All right? Good luck to all the New York teams today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.